everybody, it's Wendy. Welcome. I'm so excited you're here today. Thanks for joining me. We are going to make a really fun poinsettia card today, and I'm excited to get started. So I'm going to be using the Reason for the Season stamp set and the Festive Flower Punch bundle. And I started out by just using a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and it's folded in half. And then I'm using a piece of basic black, and all the measurements will be provided in my printable PDF tutorial that will be provided tomorrow. So I send an email out every Tuesday to my mailing list, and I have PDF printable tutorials, and this is the one that will be in that tomorrow. So make sure you sign up for that on my blog at levinstampin.com. Put your name and your email at the top of the screen in order to get that. This is the Festive Flower Punch. It's super awesome. It makes these really cool poinsettias. And so what I did is I'm using this stamp set to stamp all of the petals and the leaves for the poinsettia. You have to make sure that you punch the right amount of all of these. So I'm using Old Olive cardstock and Old Olive ink, and I needed 3 leaves. So I've pre-punched the leaves and prepped them here so that we could save a little time on this video. And so I needed 3 leaves, and I got those all stamped. And then I need 8 of the big petals. So there's 2 different size, well actually there's 3 different size petals in this punch. So I needed 8 of the large petals, 4 of the medium petals, and then 2 of the small petals. So these here that I'm that I'm stamping right now are the large ones, and like I said, there's 8 of them. And it goes pretty quick. If you get them, the way I like to do this is I like to assembly line everything. So I sit and I do all my punching and get that all prepared. And because I made several of these cards, I didn't just make one because I liked it so much. So I made a bunch of them. So I sat and I did all my punching, and then when I was done with all my punching, I sat and did all my stamping. And same with the cardstock base pieces, I cut all those out first. And you'll see over there on the left, you can see the music note paper. That is from the Home for Christmas Designer Series paper. It is absolutely beautiful, and so I love that. And it makes a great background for this card. So now I'm moving on to the double leaf or double petal, and I also have a circle there. You'll notice that's punched from the 1 1/4 inch circle punch, and that's the base of my poinsettia, and you'll see when we put it all together. So now I'm just stamping the medium leaves, and there's just 4 of those. Again, if you go to my blog, you can see a really good photo of how all of these are punched, and then you can also sign up to get that tutorial from me over on my blog at levinstampin.com. So make sure that you do that. This is Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm just stamping this sentiment, A Very Merry Christmas to You. Probably one of my favorite sentiments that we've ever had, next to Jesus is the Reason for the Season. So I love this stamp set. It's one of my favorites, and you'll see me using it a lot. Now that we're into November, I feel like I can make Christmas cards galore, so that's what you're probably going to be seeing mostly from me from now until Christmas. All right, so I'm just layering these 2 pieces down on top of my card base, and then I'm going to build my poinsettia. So this is the fun part. I just go ahead first and separate everything out, and I'm using glue dots, and I'm folding the petals in half the long way before I adhere them down. So the design is to basically put them like in a cross shape. To start out with, that's your base. So I just kind of eyeball where the center of that circle is, and then put my first petal down, and then I build from there. And so you can see I'm doing it very much in a cross or plus sign shape, is the base of this poinsettia. And then from there I will fill in where there's empty space. So you can see I'm offsetting the leaves, or petals, I keep calling them leaves. So they're being offset and stacked on top of each other. And this just goes so quick. It's so super simple. and it's so fun to build these flowers. I made 6 of these cards. Now, I should say, now I'm going to be moving on to the medium leaf, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, except I'm just going to offset it again. So I'm covering up that gap basically in between where I just made. So you can see there where I've done that. This card was not my design. This card was designed by my sweet friend Janice Erkey. She is an amazing Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and she happens to not live very far from me. But she, her and I became kind of buddies through Founders Circle. And so I got this card from her through our Founders Circle swap, and I cased it. Casing means copy and share everything. And as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, we embrace that and believe in that wholeheartedly. We also always give each other credit because that's super important. I would never take credit for a card I didn't make, or that I didn't design, I should say. So these cards are Janice's original design, and she just did a beautiful job. And I thought, why fix what isn't broken? So that's what happened. I just designed right after her. So if you need a poinsettia punch builder, you can get one from me in my online store. You can order it, and you can just go straight to my site from here. The description below will give you the supply list. The description below this video gives you the supply list of all the items I used here today. If you have any questions or if you need anything from me, you can always contact me through my blog and by emailing me at wendy.cranford@live.com, and that way I can help you out if you have questions. So I'm just adding a couple dimensionals on the back of this poinsettia, and I'm just going to lay it down kind of off to the left side. I line up the green leaves with the left side. So I'm using my fine tip glue pen. You can see my hands are very inky at this point. I made a big mess, and I'm adding a few gold sequins to finish this card off because I felt like it just needed those, and it's kind of hard to see because my light is so bright coming in right there, but you'll be able to see it when I pick the card up. And just putting my fine tip glue pen back together there. You got to make sure you get that little needle down in the nozzle so your glue doesn't dry up on you. And then the last touch is to just add a rhinestone right into the middle of this poinsettia to finish it off. And that's a wrap. That's how you make this card, and it's just stunning and gorgeous. You can ink the edges of the card leaves if you want to, and the petals, but I just really love how this card turned out. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.